So you're thinking about advertising on YouTube this year, huh? Well, guess what? What worked last year may not be working this year. And even what worked last month may not be working this month. I mean, things are constantly changing. It seems like the only thing constant in life is change, right? Look, over the last 5 years, we've launched 5,000 different YouTube ad campaigns in hundreds of different markets. And as I look back, there are some consistent patterns that I believe worked really well for us. And when I look back at the data, I would say out of every 10 campaigns we launched, 2 of them worked really well. Like, we crushed it. Another 2 of them bombed, didn't do very good at all. And 6 of the 10 campaigns were kind of like, meh, vanilla. Like, they were okay. So what separated the great campaigns from the really poor performing campaigns? Well, I want to share with you 3 things in this video that I think you should be aware of when it comes to advertising on YouTube. In fact, I wish I would have known these things 5 years ago, because it would have saved me a lot of stress and headache and time and money. So again, I want to share these 3 things with you. The first thing you should know when it comes to advertising on YouTube is don't start advertising until your business has a consistent flame. So what advertising does is it's an amplifier. It's like pouring gas on a flame. And unless you have a flame, like something that's working and it's consistent, you really can't pour gas on it. And if you try to advertise when your business isn't ready and you don't have consistent customers coming in, you're just going to waste a lot of resources. There have been several times where we come across a new client. They have this offer they're really excited about. They know who their audience is. And we get in and start spending money on ads, and we're getting a lot of views and clicks, but guess what? Nobody's buying their product. And I'll have conversations with them like, hey, we're advertising, how are the sales coming? They're like, oh, we haven't had any sales yet. I'm like, okay, but maybe not in advertising, but in general, how many sales do you have? And there have been several times where I talk to the client and I'm like, oh, this is brand new. We don't have any customers. I'm like, why are we advertising when you haven't even sold a customer on your product or service? That's kind of backwards, right? So make sure that you have consistent sales coming in and consistent customers. Contrast that where some of our best clients are like, hey, we think we're ready to start advertising. Like, well, why do you think that? And they'll say that we have an organic funnel. We get a lot of traffic organically, and people are already purchasing our product. When you've put in the work, when you've talked to your customer and you've sold your product or service in person, and you know it really well, and you have data to show that it's working, then that's the time to pour gas on the fire. Because if you do it the opposite, you're just gonna be creating burnout. So remember to have a consistent flame in your business before you turn the ads on. Principle number 2 that I think you should be aware of is just to keep things simple. With any type of marketing or advertising, it's so easy to complicate things. There's a lot of moving parts, right? There's different audiences you could target. There's different landing pages, different offers, and remarketing, and promo deals, and pricing, and different videos and ads that you can create. There's a lot of moving parts that come into creating an ad campaign. And so if I could offer any advice, it's just to keep things simple. So specifically in any one campaign, use the 1 by 1 by 3 matrix, right? So every one campaign has one offer. You're targeting one audience, and within that audience, test 3 different messages. So the nice thing about the one offer is you really need to commit to an offer for a minimum of 90 days. Give it 90 days to really see if it works, because you launch a campaign, it's not going to work right off the bat. It takes time and optimization to really get that running. So you need that 90 days of consistent testing on that one offer that's going to grow your business. So start with one offer. With that, then have one audience that you're going after. So maybe if you have shampoo, you're targeting women between 35 to 45 who are into hair care products, right? Just stick with one audience and get that running. And within that one audience, you do need multiple messages. You need multiple videos, because one reason why one woman buys shampoo may be different than another woman that buys shampoo. So Maybe one girl has curly hair and the other one has damaged hair and the other one has like straight hair. Well, there are different situations, different messages, and different videos are going to relate to those women differently. And you don't know that until you test the messages. So again, as you're going about creating your ad campaign, keep things simple. One offer, one audience, and use 3 different videos to really test your messaging. Another thing I wish I would have known when it comes to advertising on YouTube is you really have to create this mindset around committing, measuring, learning, and improving. I know we'd all love to be able to launch a campaign and have it work right out of the gate, but guess what? Like, we don't hit home runs right when we launch campaigns. In fact, I'd say we've been doing this for 10 years. I can count on 2 hands how many times campaigns have worked right out of the gate where we hit home runs. That usually doesn't happen. Right off the bat, things break, they don't work out. I mean, nobody bats 300, right? I just got 3 baseball references in that one. Anyway, when you launch a campaign, chances are it's not going to work. And you have to be open to learning and improving that. So when it comes down to committing, again, you have to commit. I'm going to give this 90 days to see this through, to really grow my business with this ad campaign. So commit to it. Commit to the success. Commit to the work. After that, you need to measure things consistently. We like to measure things on a weekly basis where, hey, let's run this ad to this video to this offer. Let's see what happens, right? Oh, look, this first week, the click-through rate was 0.75. That's not a very good click-through rate. What can we do to improve that? Well, maybe let's try a different audience or a different hook or a different video. You run that. Hey, look, the next week that went up to like a 1% click-through rate or a 1.2% click-through rate. So you committed and you're measuring the results consistently. So you have data to back your decisions. It's not just basing it solely on emotions and what you feel that day. You can actually see the improvement weekly. And then it's a matter of improving, like learning. What did you learn from this last week? What did we learn from the week prior? And how can we improve that so it works better? Again, it's so important to keep that mind open, committing to that 90-day process, measuring results weekly, learning, and improving. If you can adopt those 4 principles in that mindset, you'll always be improving. And even if a campaign doesn't work out, guess what? You can figure it out. Everything is figure-outable. One of the myths that I hear floating around in the advertising world is that when it comes to advertising this year, when it comes to advertising on YouTube, it's easy to get distracted with all the new things, right? What's the new gadget, the new tool, the new strategy, whatever. And in a world that's constantly changing and constantly kind of tweaking things of what could happen, I think it's so important to remember what doesn't change. What are those principles that aren't going to change a year from now or 2 years from now? And when it comes down to it, guess what? People are always going to want to be educated. They're always going to want to be entertained. They're always going to want to find a product or a service that makes their life valuable. And so if you can find a way to become entertaining and educational and find those products or services and get them in front of those people that need them, that are looking for them, you're going to have campaigns that are working. It won't matter whether an algorithm change happens or not, or a new advertising platform comes, or what your competitors do. If you just focus on those unchanging principles, you're always going to be in business. So focus on that. All right, so when it comes to advertising on YouTube, remember to start advertising when your business has a consistent flame. Number 2, keep it simple by using the 1x1x3 grid. And number 3, remember to commit, measure, learn, and improve. And when you have all those 3 things, advertising becomes a fun and enjoyable game, and you can actually see your business grow. So I want to thank you for watching this video. If you haven't, there's a bunch of other great videos on our channel that you can go ahead and watch. And if you haven't smashed that subscribe button, I invite you to do so you can be updated on all the other new videos that we have coming out. Thanks.